All right, I hope you're ready for this one because today's the day. I'm going to show you my top 100 knives you can buy for around $100. Hey, how you doing? If this is your first time here, welcome to the channel. My name is Jay. Go ahead and consider clicking on that subscribe if you're looking for knife reviews. Oh, they get right to the point. All right, let's go ahead and kick things off with number 100. I've got from Boker. This is the Stag Hunter. And really for me, this is primarily going to be like a showpiece, especially since, I know these materials you have to go a little bit thicker, but man, look at those scales. 99 I got from Case. This is the Kickstart Case Trapper Lock. You know what? I do like the idea of this knife being with the assisted opener and having a liner lock. I just think that, it is a little bit pricey for what it is. 98 I got from Kaiser. This is the large IFT. Full-size knife here, and it's one of their in-house designs. Unfortunately, it's been discontinued for a minute. Number 97 is going to come to us from QSP. That's the Pelican. This is a great-looking Wharncliffe blade, but it's got one little issue, and I know this is kind of common. Pretty early lockup. I got another Kaiser at 96. This is the Theta. I really do like the fact that there is no flipper tab that's going to get in the way, but I just kind of wish I had a little bit more handle. 95. How about a Kubi? This is the KB 256. This is typically not the kind of knife I normally go after, but I was really surprised to see this. Check this out. Yeah, you got multiple deployment options, so you can absolutely Spidey flick it. 94 is going to be a Ken Onion design, and this is the Foresight from CRKT. This is not the updated version. It's the original one with AUS 8 steel and, oh yeah, IKBS pivot. 93 from Kaiser. This is the Ning Shoal. Normally you're going to find these with S35VN blade steel, but let me bring it in close because I was really surprised to see this. Check this out. I'll try and hold it steady. You see that? Yeah, that's M390. Nice. 92 is going to be the KU200 from Kubi. This has just a great looking clip point blade. I just wish that the flipper tab was just a hair smaller. 91. It's going to be this big boy from Cold Steel, 8010. Even though this is a little bit larger than what I normally carry every day, I really do still love this thing. At 90 from Zero Tolerance, this is the ZT 0350. I don't know if this applies to most people, but at least for me anyway, when I think of Zero Tolerance knives, yeah, this is the model I picture. 89 is going to be our first Benchmade. This is the North Fork. Nice alternative to the Benchmade Griptilian. I still wish maybe that, I wish that edge maybe was flat. 88 is going to be from Tops. This is the Mini Scandi liner lock. This does have really good action in both directions, even though these scales don't really feel like micarta, and I think that it might be a couple bucks too expensive. 87 is going to be from Lion Steel. That's the TM1. Oh yeah, if you're looking for a hard use knife that does have, really good action for a backlock, oh totally, this is the one. Number 86, I love saying the name of this one. It's the Fox Core. We get multiple deployment options here. You can see with the flipper or the thumb hole, and I love the pattern on these scales. Let's do another Boker. At 85, this is the Gulo. Discontinued, but you can still find these around, and I love this blade shape. All right, 84, it's only fitting to go ahead and put in the Boker Plus Gulo Pro. 83, I got from Kaiser. That's the Titanium Gemini. Hey, I love the Gemini overall, but this one and Titanium, the scales I find just a bit too slick. 82 is one you just don't see every day. This is the Ophid from Kaiser. This is an old school Kaiser design, long discontinued. You can find these though over at KnifeWorks, but check that out. How many other Kaiser knives do you see with a blade like this? 81. How about the Escort from Kaiser? The blade shape itself, not really all that unique, but what sets it apart, you're looking at a pretty thick blade stock, and that is, yeah, that's a hollow grind. Number 80. I know it's tough to consider this one a mini, but that's what Benchmade is calling it. It's the Mini Loco. I do like this pistol grip because it is really nice, you know, if you're going to be doing some long-term cutting. 79. How about the Guru from Kaiser? So sad to see this one discontinued, but you can either get it with the flipper tab like I have here, or you can also get it with just the thumb studs. 78. How about the Tanto Buck Marksman? Oh yeah, this one, lots of fun to carry. And this traction here on the aluminum handles, really good grip. 77. Let's do a traditional. It's the GEC Oregon Trapper. This was actually my first GEC, and you know, I don't have a lot of traditionals, but I really do prefer the ones that have just the one blade. And another GEC, how about the number 97, Beavertail? Same here, just got the one large blade, and man, look at those scales. Number 75 is one that I have kind of a love-hate relationship with. It's the CH3504. This has to easily be like their most recognizable model that they make. 74. How about the Mini Critical from Kaiser? And I don't know about you, but how many knives do you have, folders anyway, that have 3V steel? This is my first. 73 is going to be from Cold Steel. That's the Ultimate Hunter. And yeah, they do look a little bit different, but this is more like, well, for me anyway, like a manageable version of the 8010. Number 72 from Lion Steel. That's the SR2. Love this blade, but those scales, they are really slick. Now 71 is going to be the updated version of the SR2, and it's the SR22A. And yeah, same can be said here with this flipper tab version, but now, oh yeah, they're using ball bearing pivot. At 70, I got from Steel Wheel, this is the full-size cut jack. I do like using this, and I think it cuts really well, but anybody else out there having any centering issues? 69 from Kaiser, this is the T1. Yeah, this is one of my all-time favorite Kaiser drop point blade shapes. 68, how about the full-size Benchmade Freak? I gotta tell you, really surprised to see that this was discontinued. At 67, now this one you gotta pretend that it's the titanium version from Kaiser. This is the Roach. I love the wide profile of this blade shape, but unfortunately, yeah, not the most practical in pocket. Next up is going to be the Mini Griptilian from Benchmade at number 66. I know that these get a lot of love, but I just kind of feel they've always been a hair too small for my hands. 65 is also going to be a Benchmade. This is a Grizzly Creek. Another one where I have a love-hate relationship with because I love the knife and not so much the recurve. At 64, I got from Kaiser. It's the Kesmic. Another in-house design of theirs. It's been discontinued for a little bit. And check out that flame anno job on the scales. 63. Now, I don't have a lot of slip joints, but this is one of my favorites. It's the PMP user. Such a great slicer because of that thin blade. And yeah, I did go ahead and add that quick thumb stud to it. Number 62 is the Proper from Benchmade. You know, I had the carbon fiber version with the S90V blade, but I really like this micarta a little bit better. One of my favorite automatics at number 61, it's the Kershaw Launch 1. My very first Kaiser auto because I just love that blade. Sticking with Kershaw for number 60, that's the Launch 11. Yeah, it's a little bit on the small side for an automatic, but I was willing to overlook that because of this blade. 59 is going to be the G10 version of the full-size steel wheel Modus. I listed these separately, even though they're the same model with the same blade steel, because check out the blade shape. Slightly different. Yeah, the carbon fiber one has a little bit of a point there, while the G10 does not. What the heck? Let's follow this up at number 58, the carbon fiber version of the Modus. 57 is going to be our first Tucson, and it's the TS 138. Not a whole lot of sharpened edge to use, and yeah, you do get a little bit of the thumb studs not really in the cutting path, but look at that. That's like the thickest carbon fiber I have ever seen. At 56, we're going to go a little bit bigger now from Tucson. It's the TS 223. Hands down for a Tucson knife, oh, that is just my favorite blade shape they make. 55 is one of my favorite, like, smaller frame locks, and it's from Wesson. That's the Allman. Best action out of most knives that I own this size. And I just like that, you don't really even have to worry about snapping that tip off. Now at 54, it's not one of my most, favorite Benchmades out there, but I totally recognize it's a fantastic knife. Of course, the 940. 53, how about from Giant Mouse? That's the Ace Biblio. Almost gave up on this one because it has probably one of the longest, like, break-in periods out of any knife I have. 52 is going to be our very first Wii knife, and that's the Streak. Also discontinued, so if you've been looking to grab one of these, you're definitely going to want to do it now. 51 from Spyderco, I got the Endura. Not the biggest fan of the green scales that this blade comes on, which is why I went ahead and swapped it out. Sitting at 50, how about from Kershaw? That's the Copper Leak. American made with some good old CPM 154 blade steel. 49 is going to be one of my favorite, like, secondary carries, and it's from Spyderco, the Dragonfly 2 ZDP 189. One of the best back pocket knives I think that you can get. 48 from Hogue. This is the Sig Sauer K320 automatic. Really good hard-hitting action. Strong spring. I kind of expected, though, that for this not to have the thumb holes, since, they're not going to be used. I wonder if I could de-assist this. Number 47 from Spyderco is going to be the straight spine version of the Stretch. It's the Sprint Run version, but good news is that there must have been enough of a demand, because pretty soon we're going to see the regular production version with the K390 blade. And real quick, if you're enjoying this video so far, would you just, let me know by just giving it a thumbs up. 46 is going to be the G10 version of the Spyderco Native 5. And you can tell that this is one of the older school ones because it's got the liner, since, now they're getting rid of those and in favor of the thicker G10 scales. 45 is just going to be the lightweight version of the Native 5. 44 from Cold Steel, that's the Recon 1. Benchmade at 43, that's the Mini Freak. Another one I was really surprised to see go, but, well, now they are coming out with those higher-end versions. 42 from Southern Grind, that's the Spider Monkey. This knife is probably one of the most unique handles that I own, and it's not going to be, not a fidget knife, but hey, that's okay. And you know what, 41 is going to be kind of like a dealer's choice, because really you could just pick any version that you want of the Spyderco Delica 4. Man, number 40 already from Max Ace. That's the Balance. This kind of looks like those Honey Badger knives, doesn't it? 39 from Spyderco. This is the backlock version of the Manix 2. Apparently I'm one of the few, because I really do like to have this in a backlock version, because, it's been discontinued. 38 is going to be our first from Drop and Ferrum Forge. It's the Dow. Love this knife, which is why I had to go ahead and throw on those quick thumb studs, because I wasn't able to even use the thumb holes until now. 37 is like one of the finest, like, slicing blades out there. It's the Spyderco Chaparral. 36 from Drop and Ferrum Forge. That's the Gent Select. One of my all-time favorite smaller knives. Love that stonewash. And how about that pocket clip? 35 is going to be the Bison from Bestech. Really, this does not get the amount of attention that it deserves, and I'm sure that has a lot to do with the price tag, considering it is D2 steel. 34 is going to be another Bestech. That's the Falco. I love just about everything about this knife, well, except for that pocket clip. It's going to be like milled titanium, but it's only one position. Number 33, named after a bird, the Kaiser Cormorant. I'm noticing these are still really hard to find in stock anywhere. And, it's because of the 4 different deployment methods. 32 is going to be the G10 version of the Spyderco Para 3. Let's follow that up with 31. And how about the lightweight version of the Para 3? Now, if you are left-handed and you would still like to own a Para 3, I recommend that you go with the lightweight version, because, at least for me, it's just easier to operate the lock with this one. Sitting at 30 is going to be another Hogue automatic. That's the EX03. I do like the action, but I kind of wish, at least on mine, I wish that maybe it was a little stronger. 29 is going to be the USA-made blade exclusive, the Kershaw Knockout M390. Now, 28 is going to be a straight-up Ferrum Forge design, and that's the Stinger. So I think that there's like two other models in this series from Ferrum Forge, but they're all smaller. I kind of wish that they made them all this size. From Spyderco at number 27, that's the Andella. Now, this was my first time ever using Spyderco's new K390 blade steel, and I got to tell you, yeah, the hype, totally justified. 26, how about the silky smooth ZT-0450? Now, for me, if I was to pit this against the Benchmade 940, I would take this all day long. 25, one of the finest fidget knives around, the Spyderco Smock. I am really hoping that we start to see a lot more of the push-button compression lock from Spyderco. 24, let's do the lightweight version of the Spyderco Manix 2. Yeah, so as you can tell, yeah, the feel of these scales, because I know some people call it, kind of plasticky, which I get it, doesn't bother me much. 23 is going to be my lefty version of the Paramilitary 2. Next up from Benchmade, how about the Griptilian? Yeah, it is kind of wide in pocket, but with this one, I love this sheep's foot. 21 from White Mountain Knives, this is the Cold Steel Code 4 Black. Number 20 is going to be another Benchmade. This is the Doug Ritter version of the Griptilian. But this, for me, really, if I could make like my ideal Griptilian, it would look like this. Number 19, I've seen that the price does somewhat kind of fluctuate. It's the Cold Steel American Lawman. And I really do wish that more Cold Steel knives had like a full, like functional forward finger choil like this. 18 from Benchmade is going to be the full-size Presidio 2. These lighter weight CF Elite scales really made a big difference with this full-size version. And at 17, we can't forget about the mini version. And same with the mini, although, I never really considered this one to be all that heavy, but now you don't even notice it in your pocket. Number 16 from QSP, that's the Hawk. I know this is a little bit bigger than the Civivi Elementum, but I would love to know how many of you would rather have this over that Civivi. Number 15 from Spyderco, that's the Sage 5. I think that this is probably this might even be my favorite blade shape that Spyderco makes. Even though number 14 might not look like it, this is the Blade HQ exclusive version of the Kaiser Beglighter in M390. I missed out when Blade HQ had these in stock, but I was lucky enough to find one in their bargain bin because, yep, you see those little scratches? 13 is going to be the Crux from Ferrum Forge and Drop. And I love this knife. I mean, for gosh sakes, my channel art is the outline of this knife. Number 12 is just like further proof that Kaiser is just killing it lately. It's the Deviant. And I know that this one with the copper bolsters is really hard to find nowadays. You can only find that black coated version. But you know what? If you're just patient, I'm sure that eventually these will be back. Number 11 is just going to be the manual version of the Hogue Ex03. I think that this is probably one of my all-time favorite hard-use knives, especially with these kind of like polymer scales. If you drop it, not that big of a deal. At 10, I've got an automatic. This is the Benchmade Casbah. Not only is this one of my favorite automatic knives, but it's probably one of my all-time favorite Benchmade knives. Next up from Kaiser at number 9, that's the October. I think one of the reasons why I like this knife as much as I do, it really just reminds me of the CRKT Pilar. Number 8 is going to be the KnifeWorks exclusive Hogue and Doug Ritter RSK MK1-G2. And then at number 7, it just makes it easier to go ahead and throw in the full-size version. I almost wish that I had the willpower to kind of wait and not, buy these when they first dropped because of all the different colors. Have you seen them all that are available? Number 6 is going to be my favorite version of the Kaiser Gemini in carbon fiber. I almost wish that there was a way to maybe combine these. So have like the carbon fiber show side and then maybe have the titanium lock bar on the other side instead of the liner. Number 5 from Benchmade. It's the Bug Out. It's probably one of the only knives that I like to put the copper scales on because you know how much weight that it that it adds to the knife, but the bug out is already super lightweight. Number 4, how about from Buck? This is the automatic version of the Ranger 112. Oh man, if they just put a pocket clip on this knife, I don't know if I would ever need to buy another knife again. Number 3, now instead of the Tanto, I've got the drop point version of the Buck Marksman. I actually got really lucky, and I just found these on eBay like a couple years ago, and I have not seen any since. Number 2, I got from Drop and Ray Laconico. That's the Keen. So really, you could just say, what, this is a giant Yorkie? I'll bet you're wondering, okay, what in the heck would possibly be number 1 out of all of those knives? How about from We Knife Company? Oh yeah, that's my fancy version of the Practic. Up on the screen now is a couple of videos that I personally picked out for you to go ahead and watch next. And hey, don't forget, go ahead and click on that subscribe. No, you are not going to see $500 knives. Sorry. I'm done. I'm beat. I'm going to take a nap. I'll see you at the next video. Bye, guys.